Remember when GTA San Andreas looked beautiful? How about any game in the early 2000s? Pikmin 1 and 2, Need for Speed, and many more. What about the generation before? The N64. What about even earlier on the NES? We've come a long way from those days. Graphics have improved drastically from those days, but something is missing. Somehow it feels like the graphical quality has improved, but the soul is gone. The feeling you got when playing some of these games was incredible. The vibes of something like the 90s backdrop and the Los Santos setting in GTA San Andreas is probably never to be replicated. What about other classics? Like I said, Pikmin 1 and 2 for the GameCube. And what about Elder Scrolls Oblivion? They all had character and they felt like their own thing. Beautiful in their own way. Sometimes janky, yes, but they have something a lot of modern games don't have, and that is the vibes. Now, don't get me wrong, the vibes aren't gone. The vibes are always there. The vibes aren't gone. Just the time is gone. I remember the Sly Cooper games so vividly. I made a video about classics recently, and I totally forgot to even mention modern classics like Fallout 4, where the vibes are still there. Now, to list games would be dumb in my opinion. There'd be too many, and I would forget so many. So I'm not gonna do that today. What we have now, today, in terms of graphics, real time lighting, hyper realistic textures, we lack in soul. Soulless cash grabs are everywhere these days, and it's hard to shift to the slop to find gold. Even though, nowadays, you are less likely to be blindsided with garbage, like it was in the days before the internet, where you had to go off of word of mouth to find gems, and even more importantly, miss the BS. Today, you can go off of reviews and videos about almost any game and be informed. And when you buy that new game, you can refund it if the first 2 hours were not to your liking, at least on Steam. The slop is what's the issue here. Not the developer, not the indie developer making a banger out of nowhere, not the bigger studios who really tried their best to put out a good product. It's the soulless, corporate, greedy nature of the business that bothers me. I feel like back in the days, a dev team had the balls to try to do something new and exciting. Where nowadays it's just the safe, tried before garbage that we have to settle for. What is there to stop, let's say, Ubisoft, make a Far Cry 3 for the seventh time? What is there to motivate a company like Activision, who are, I believe, under new ownership, to not make a Call of Duty every year and instead make it when it's good and ready? It's greed. Their pockets get fatter and our games suffer for it. That's how it's been and will always be, I think. The main thing is to vote with your wallet. A lot of people don't vote with their wallets. Instead, they buy into EAFC coins and points and buy VC in 2K. Those are just the first things that come to my mind when I think about this shit. They buy expensive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skins in Call of Duty, and all in all, just do not vote with their wallets. Or they vote wrong, in my opinion. I feel like you can vote wrong. I feel like you can vote right. And voting right is not necessarily voting right. It is your own thing what you do with your vote. But before I go into any tangents or I veer off the topic, I want to say that you should vote with your wallet, and a lot of people don't do it, which sucks. And video game companies, they see this. They see when we buy the skins for the turtles. They see when we buy AFC points and coins and shit. They see that we do it. And why would they stop making that? VC, for example, even though it would be better for the customer, when millions and billions are on the table, when profits for shareholders are valued more than the gaming experience for the people that buy the games in the first place. And why is it that NBA 2K and 2K4, 2K13 and 2K14 are better than 2K25, or some might even say 2K26 is better? And it's because these games are more fun and they don't have VC like in them like they have now. Which, if it wasn't for updated rosters, would have infinite replayability. Infinite replayability. If you could update 2K13 to be in the day of today, I feel like a lot of people would prefer to play NBA 2K13 instead of playing uh, NBA 2K25, even with the enhanced graphics. The graphics are nice, the graphics are cool, but I want there to be fun, man. I want it to be like it used to be, where they actually gave a shit about people who paid their hard-earned money to buy their game. Nowadays, they're like, okay, they buy the game, and now we got them in, and now we got them in, and now we gotta squeeze every little droplet of money they have. Every little droplet of money, we need it. That is so greedy. And on top of that, the VC you buy every year is gone every year. The yearly drops are killing gaming, and they're keeping it alive at the same time. Profits for game companies and shareholders are through the roof. And if I had my way, there would be one game for hockey, one for basketball, one for football, and so on, with yearly updates for that one paid price. Instead of what we have now, where you have to buy a game every year to keep up. I refuse to pay 60, 70, 80 bucks for a game when I need to buy VC to stay competitive, where I need to buy the same game next year instead of having a roster update for free. Hell to the no. I stick to the Game Pass games. Madden comes to the Game Pass around Super Bowl, and EAFC, used to be FIFA, comes to the Game Pass before the summer. That's when I play those games. And until they make changes, that's how it will be. Will it ever happen? I fucking doubt it, but it is what it is. I'm voting with my wallet. Anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Have a good one wherever you are.